My name is Jacqui Marcheselli and I'm studying a BSc Therapeutic Radiography and Oncology course at City St George's, and I am in my second year of study. I had my first radiotherapy placement at Southend University Hospital in Essex. For preparation for placement, we had a module that prepared us for the NHS workplace environment, and this included lectures on professional behaviours and conduct, what was involved with patient-centred care, and the types of roles of the members of staff we'd encounter. We also did basic life support, moving and handling, and we spent some time in VIRT, which is the Virtual Environment for Radiotherapy Training on the Clerkenwell campus, which gave us a sense of the types of machines that we would see and the controls for them. Each placement site gave us some information on our first day for what time we should get there, who we should ask for when we first get there, and where to go in the building as well. And for Southend, our link lecturer also provided us some information on accommodation that we could look at booking based on recommendations they'd had from previous students. I think I felt fairly prepared for my first placement. I think it's quite natural to feel nervous and a bit unsure when heading into a new environment. So I found that focusing on the things that I could control really helped to settle those nerves. I made sure to plan out my journey. I get very stressed about parking, so I made sure I booked a parking space ahead of time so that I wouldn't have to worry about that. I know that some students did dry runs, so they physically went on the route to the hospital if it was an area they'd not been before, just to make sure they wouldn't be late on the day and to see what that was like. I did things such as making sure I packed my bag, making sure my breakfast was ready the night before, just to make sure I wasn't rushing around last minute, adding stress to what was already a bit of a stressful day. I also found that preparing myself involved a little bit of looking at some CT images again to remind myself of the kind of anatomy I'd be expecting to see on the day, making sure that I felt that I had some of the terminology, that I understood some of that, so that I felt more confident when I first got there. I think my first placement went really well. I loved it, in fact. And once I'd got past those first week sort of nerves, I started to, learn some names and settle in quite quickly. And I definitely feel that once you know the layout of the new site that you're at, then you feel a lot more comfortable. The best parts of my placement were the team, so the members of staff I encountered, and also working with patients and their friends and relatives. I found the atmosphere to be really positive, really supportive of my learning and my involvement, and I was made to feel like part of the team, and I loved being part of the service users experience too. It can feel like such an immense responsibility, but really something as small as a genuine smile when you first greet somebody, or a comment on the British weather, it can really help put people at ease and start creating that connection to hopefully support them on their treatment journey. Probably my least favourite part would be time management on placement. If you have outside responsibilities such as childcare, caring responsibilities, a job, then you can feel like you've got a few plates spinning, and that's a skill that you really have to work on. I would say that I think placement nudged me in the right direction with that, and I made sure to timetable in the university work that I had to do at the same time. So although that was my least favourite part, I wouldn't say it caused too many problems. I felt I was really well supported by the radiotherapy department's education lead at Southend, and to be honest, the staff in general as well. They provided a wealth of knowledge and insight into day-to-day life in the department, and they really encouraged my learning too. We had regular contact with our link lecturer, who we could also email if we had any placement related questions or portfolio related questions. I'd also say that the other first year students and some of the second and third year students that we would see were also great at offering advice or simply just being a good listening ear. I feel my confidence since being on placement has grown and grown. Applying what we've learned in lectures and workshops practically on placement, so in those real life situations, for me is the best way to gain a deeper understanding of the theory that we've been learning in lecture. I will say that you're likely to make mistakes sometimes. I know I certainly did. And the key to growing your confidence is just to simply not let that define your day or your week. Learning is not a linear process, and there's always going to be some trial and error. So I use my mistakes to make me a better radiography student, and if you take them in your stride, your confidence will grow too. I have quite a few moments that have really stuck with me, quite a few favourite placement experiences, and I'd say the underlying theme of my favourite experiences is typically working with and supporting patients. I met many patients who, for example, found the head and neck shells that we use to immobilise them for their treatment to be understandably very distressing and claustrophobic. And to be with these patients on their treatment journey from the beginning, from feeling scared and upset and unsure, to be part of the team who slowly helps them to adjust to what's happening, to being able to wear that mask, to see them be able to smile and laugh with you, and to see their strength grow in being able to meet their condition head on and complete their course of treatment. It was an absolute privilege, and it feels incredible to know that you're playing a part in making their journey that bit brighter and hopefully that bit easier. I think my number one tip would be to engage with everyone you meet from the get-go. So first time on set, be sure to take a deep breath and introduce yourself. In any new workplace, people always respond well if you show an interest, if you ask questions, if you demonstrate just a little bit of energy and enthusiasm. So really, the more you put in, the more you're going to get out. And asking early on, how can I help out? How can I get stuck in? It's a great start. I'd say asking questions to learn why things are done rather than just simply what is done will really boost your confidence later on when it comes to testing that knowledge. And something else I'd say is pretty important is to make sure you familiarise yourself with your portfolio so that you can plan out how and when you're going to achieve your learning